Did you know that cats are a form of technology? So thought Melville Dewey, who invented the popular decimal system of classification, still in use by a number of libraries to this day. According to the Dewey system, circa 1890, under Category 600, Technology, we have 630, Agriculture and Related Technologies, under which you'll find Animal Husbandry, which includes dogs and cats. Apparently, in the 19th century, dogs and cats were the primary technology for varmint control. What this illustrates, of course, is that people's perceptions of the world is a reflection of the social and cultural currents of the day, and that we should be wary of using fixed terminology, indexing schemes to categorize knowledge. Here's another quick example. Until the end of World War II, the word computer was used for a person, primarily female, who did computations for a living. This picture shows women computers at Harvard in the 1890s doing astronomical calculations. Reportedly, women were more sought for this as they were found to be faster and more accurate at the task. It wasn't until the mid to late 1940s that technology advanced to the extent that electronic computers could subsume the work of humans. As a related aside, I highly recommend the film Top Secret Rosies, which is a documentary on women computers of World War II. You can check it out on Netflix for more background. Nowadays, of course, the word computer conjures up the notion of a machine, and it seems weird that it once connoted women, just as it seems strange to think of cats and dogs, for that matter, as technologies. Believe it or not, early search engines like Yahoo used fixed indexing schemes like this until they evolved to using web crawler algorithms. You're still at it if you're in the habit of bookmarking websites in your browser based on keywords of your own devising. Beware that your bookmarking terminology will likely obsolesce over time, just as we can sort of understand Chaucerian or Shakespearean English, but not really well. Enter social bookmarking. Diigo is a social networking browser add-on that obviates this problem and several others. It makes sense to use social networking strategies to bookmark internet resources for two reasons. First, if you're bookmarking in your local browser, your bookmarks are unavailable to you if you're away from your computer. Second, bookmarks can be tagged with keywords and shared. It's the sharing aspect that's revolutionary because other folks will tag the same items and add to the vocabulary of search terms used in contemporary culture to find such items. This vocabulary of keywords is stored on Diigo servers and grows and evolves to capture contemporary and evolving language to describe information, which is something fixed indexing systems don't do. It doesn't cost anything to use Diigo's basic level of service, and I recommend taking a moment to watch the My Library video here on the homepage. When you're ready, click on the Get Started Now button to sign up. There's a standard set of fields to fill out here, including your desired username, first and last names, email address, and password. There's also one of these blasted CAPTCHA challenges to get past in order to apply. There's a shortcut, however, that lets you bypass this process. You can click on the Facebook, Twitter, Google, or Yahoo Speed buttons to use the same credentials you've established on those services to join. Without going through the rigmarole of signing up, which you could handle on your own, let me point out the first thing you'll do once you've established your Diigo account. Returning to the home page, at the top of the home page, there's a link to Tools, which you should click on, and this will avail you of browser add-ons, which are how most people actually use Diigo. First, make sure the bookmark toolbar is showing, and in Chrome, you just click on the three horizontal lines here, and click on Bookmark, show Bookmarks bar, and then click on the Diigolet Bookmarklet link, and at the bottom you'll see that there's a Diigolet speed button which you can drag up to the Bookmarks bar. If you deposit it right there, you'll have access to the functionality of Diigo via that speed button. Once you've added the Diigolet speed button, you'll need to click on the sign-in link to log in with your credentials. Since I've been here before, my browser auto-populates these fields with my username and password, but you'll likely have to enter your username and password at least the first time before they're remembered. Click the sign-in button, You'll then be brought to the My Library page. Now, the first thing you want to do probably is click on the Save Password button if you're using Chrome or a similar browser so that you don't have to remember your login credentials every time. As I mentioned earlier, it's easiest to use the Diigo Let Speed button to bring up push button access to all of its functionality. To demonstrate the basics of social bookmarking, I've clicked onto a homeschooling website I like to record in my library for future reference. Simply click on the Bookmark Speed button and note that the URL and title fields are automatically populated for you. You can then enter in a description, and then you can add tags that you can use to find this later on in your library. One of the other tags that's recommended here is books. Diigo will generally recommend popular tags on similar topics for you. When you click on the Save Bookmark Speed button, that will have been added to your library. And in order to view your library, simply click on the Diigo button and click on My Library, and that'll bring up a web page that has a list of all the sites that you've added to date. You can also add selected text from a web resource to your library using the highlight button. For example, I'd like to archive 2 paragraphs from this New York Times article on the Chinese cell phone market. Simply click on the highlight button and then drag over the text of interest to you and release. If you go to the Diigo My Library option, then you'll see that that text has been added to your library. It's cool enough that you can access your Diigo bookmarks from any internet-enabled device and to others via mentions on social networking sites like Twitter or Facebook off the Share button. You can also create or join groups, which are libraries maintained by Diigo users. I ask that participants in this course join the EdTech 600 group so that we can all benefit by sharing links with each other. To join our group, click on the My Groups menu option and note that I'm already a member of the EdTech 600 group. In fact, I created it. There are recommended groups to the right here, and I'll click on Diigo Community just to illustrate. If you clicked on the Join This Group button, that will add this to your list of groups. Another way to join a group is to just do a search for it using the search field in the horizontal menu bar. Now, to illustrate how you'd post to this group, I've dredged up an article on publicly owned internet services by Susan P. Crawford, who's a pundit that I follow on Bloomberg. To bookmark this to the group, we'll click on the Bookmark Speed button. I'll enter a short description, and I'll click on some of the recommended tags, such as internet, Crawford, and Bloomberg. And here's the important thing that you need to do. To share this to the group, once you've joined the group, you can find it from the Share to Group drop-down list. So I'm going to select EdTech 600 here, and then I'll click the Save Bookmark button. If you then go back to your groups and refresh, you'll see that we've got one updated news item. And if you click on the group link, you'll see the shared bookmark added to your collection. This is the evolution of bookmarking from simple local tagging using one's own idiosyncratic language to social tagging drawing from the universe of contemporary and evolving idioms.